Good morning, students. How are you? I hope all you are fine and well, and you are studying very well. Even it is lockdown period, and those students are, expecting good marks, and I think they are studying and they are working very hard. Some of you are very sad because you don't have, there is no school, and you are not going to school, and you are missing to your school anyway. But don't be tension. So keep practice and keep learning. If the online class is there, so don't worry about anything else. You can get all knowledge from the online classes. So anyway, today I am going to discuss with you from this book. This is Flamingo for class 12 CBSE English core. From this book, I would like to discuss with you my mother at 66, and this is your first chapter from the poetry section, or this is your first lesson from the poetry section. So before studying this whole chapter, I would like to give you, or I would like to read a brief summary of Kamla Das. Kamla Das was born in Malabar, Kerala in 1934. She is recognized as one of India's foremost poets. Her works are known for their originality and versatility. Kamla Das has published many novels and short stories in English and Malayalam under the name of Madhavi Kuti. Some of her works in English include the novel Alphabet of Lust 1977, a collection of short stories Padmavati the Harlot, and other stories 1992. In addition to 5 books of poetry, she is a sensitive writer who captures the complex subtitles of human relationship in lyrical items. My mother at 66 is an example. This was the short biography, and if we go to higher class, then we can study more about her biography. So let's look about the poem. As I mentioned you, the name of the poem is My Mother at 66. So what things are there? We will look. There are 2 stanzas in this poem. The incident that is inside of the car, that is first stanza, and the incident that is in the Cochin airport, that incident is written in second stanza. So the poet had gone her hometown to visit her mother. Okay, as we are going to our our native place for spending some days. Okay, like the same way, she has also gone to her mother town for looking her mother, or visit to her mother and spending some days with her. On Friday morning, both were coming to Cochin airport. Actually, after visiting, now the poet's time has to go to his working place, and her mother is also accompanying with her because she wanted to see of her at the airport. Such way, both were going. As they were going, at the same time, the poetess looked to her mother, and her mother was dozed, and her mouth was little bit opened. And when she looked clearly, then she has seen her face was just like lifeless, and her face was dull, and her face was dull, and that is just like a dead person face. When she looked at that and she began to feel pain and she experienced that her mother now is aging and decay, then suddenly she realized old age had crept upon her mother. So to avoid this pain and to avoid this feeling or to avoid this thought, so she started to look outside from the car. Okay, when she looked outside from the car, so what she seen? Really, that was very difficult to accept her that mother is going to be old and that at any time something can be happened to her mother, and due to that reason he become alarmed, and also she was very disturbed to see the condition of her mother. So finally, to change her thoughts and to change her mood, she looked outside. But when she looked outside, what she has seen there? She saw young green trees which were speeding away in the opposite direction. She also saw a group of children rushing out of their homes to play. Okay, both things she has seen there. When she looked outside, green trees, okay, and young trees, they are speeding back as they are going ahead. All the things, left side or right side, they are just seems going like back. Then after what she has seen there, young children, okay, they are rushing toward the fields for the playing. Both things she has seen, and both thing was something different meaning that I will read for you. The young sprinting trees represented how time had flown by. Okay, green tree that signifying how the time has been passed. Means suppose we are going now by car, bus, train, or whatever vehicle. So as we are going ahead, the things that are in left side or right side, that seems they are going to back. That the experience she experienced here and she felt here, and now she has seen the young children. The children represented youth. Okay, the children represented youth, which was full of life and energy. Both the young trees and the children presented a sharp contrast to the poet mother sitting beside her. So both are representing that this is the act of past. Like the same thing, if something went back, we cannot achieve that. Suppose our age, our energy, if that is past, now I am 40 years old, I cannot expect that if I will be 52 years old or if I will be 60 years old, at the same way I will be, at the same energy I will have. So I cannot expect that. The same thing is happening here. She has seen to the children and she remembered about her childhood and she remembered about her mother's youthfulness, how she was energetic when she was youth, and how was the happiest moment when she was also a young child. At the same time, when she has seen the sprinting trees, that is also signifying that something gone back she cannot achieve. Like the same way, our mother age passed very fast. Passed very fast, but she cannot get that, and she cannot, come to that age where both of them were. Now, the second incident, that is in the airport. Okay, when they reached to the airport and the poet going through a security check, and the poet who was standing a few yards away from her mother, once again she looked at her mother. Okay, that is second time. First time she looked where inside of the car, and second time she looked at the airport. Okay, when she went some distance from her mother, then she looked. Then after she has seen the same thing. What about her mother's face was full of lifeless, and her mother's face was just like dull. Her mother's face was dull, and her mother's face that was just like a winter moon, right? Late winter moon that cannot be seen due to fog and mist. Okay, why the poet is here saying that is just like a winter moon? And remember the winter season, when we want to or when we try to look to the winter moon or to the moon, that will be little bit ash. Okay, there is fog and mist, and because of that reason we cannot clear the face of the moon. Like the same way, she is expressing that her mother is decaying, her mother is going very old, and which cannot be seen clearly. Okay, once again she was pained on seeing her mother. Okay, that condition, deteriorating condition, as she was going away and leaving her mother, her old familiar ache, that her childhood fear that she would lose her mother suddenly come alive. Okay, second time when she has seen, okay, that she felt and that just like the old day when she was young, she was feeling the same thing, the old ache that once again revived and that once again alive in her heart. So I think when she was young, she was thinking, if my mother will die, what will happen? That thing also came in her mind. And now he wanted to, he wanted to control that, and he wanted to control that feeling, but somehow she gave a farewell bid to her mother with a good smile. Okay, she gave hope to herself and her mother by saying that they would meet again, and they kept on smiling. So that was the full summary. First stanza, when we see she has seen her mother, she was dodged, and her face just like a dead person's face, and that was full of dull, and that was full of pearl. That is why she experienced that the decaying condition of her mother, and now her mother is aging. That was something sad feeling for her, and she looked outside, but she couldn't, she couldn't divert her mind when she has seen young trees, and when she has seen young children, and there she also felt different. Then they reached second time when she has seen to her mother face was the same way, just like a lifeless person, and dull, and that face was just like a winter moon, ashes, just like a ash. Okay, in both stanza there is a pain and agony of the poet. Somehow in second stanza she tried to control herself and gave a smile, and the first stanza she wanted to she tried to control herself. She has seen outside, but she couldn't bear that. Now we will look about a little bit question answer. Actually I cannot explain all question answer, and a little bit I can tell you What was the childhood fear that now troubled the poet? Okay, the answer is, as a child, the poet was insecure about losing her mother, and the same fear had come again now when her mother had grown old. That was the fearful condition of her. Then second question, who is I? In this poem there is a word that is used for I. So who is I? Very clear that I is mentioned to the poet. And how can the trees sprint? Okay, the trees were stationary at the side of the road, but the poet's car was moving fast along the road, giving the appearance of the tree sprinting. Okay, that is. Then after we may see another question. Identify the figure of speech used in this line. Figure of speech, that's very clear. Smile, smile, smile. 3 times written. That is the figure of speech of this poem or of this line. Then another question is there. The married children are sprinting out of their home, symbolic of married children. What is the married children? Okay, we need to know that these married children spilling out of their home and signify exuberance and liveliness of young. Okay, these are the short question answer. Actually, and another question is there. Why has Kamla Das compared her mother to a late winter moon? The answer is, the poet's mother has been compared to the late winter moons, as the late winter moon is dull and shrouded, and it symbolizes the ebbing of life. Similarly, the poet's mother is dull and old. That is the question answer and the summary. I hope you have understood very clearly. If you have any doubt, you can make a comment. Yet if you have not subscribed this channel, please subscribe and share. So students, as much video I uploaded, I have not that much subscriber. If you watch, please subscribe it. Thank you.